Uh, my name is Jackson Eporti, and this is my artist research PowerPoint presentation. For the first artist I chose and artwork, I guess, was Frank Gehry, and the one in the picture you can see here is the Guggenheim Bilbao, Spain Museum. It was built out of titanium, glass, and limestone. Um, Took a while to build, as far as I'm aware. It's made with titanium, and when the sun is fully out, it shines off the building and fully illuminates it. Top left here, we have the Walt Disney Concert Hall, which is built in Los Angeles. Bottom left, we have the Weissman Art Museum, which is located in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And the far right, we have the Dancing House in Czech Republic. For the next artist I chose, Barbara Hepworth. The specific piece, as you can see here in this picture, not exactly sure the name of it. I want to say it's called Two Forms or Divided Circle. It's in the Hepworth Garden. Not sure where that is. Um, but depending on where you look at it, you can imagine different areas of the circles and where they protrude and how they show themselves to you. So it's more dependent on the viewer and where you're looking at it. Found a quote by her that I really liked. Uh, So much depends in sculpture on what one wants to see through a hole. Maybe in a big work, I want to see the sun or moon. In a smaller work, I may want to lean in the hole. It is a physical sensation of piercing and sight, which I want. The next artist, Ruth Asawa. This specific piece right here, you can see, is a tied wire sculpture. Can't find the name of it, but she has quite a bit of these, at least 9 that I found. It's called, so she calls it a branching form or tree form, and some of them begin with 200 to 1,000 wires. Um, Over time, could be more. Um, Here on this next slide is a couple of her art pieces. Um, she moved into more abstract forms using geometric centers of 4, 5, 6, and 7 points. If you look at these sculptures, you can see how the number of points in the center defines the forms that the branches take. As with her other work, these tied wire forms gave her the freedom to explore how the relation between outside and inside was interdependent and integral. This bottom right one is probably my favorite, just because of the blue shade in the far right. I really like how that like flares out. Next, we have Anthony Gormley. This picture right here is art piece called Critical Mass. It was kind of like mannequins, 12 different positions of 5 casts, which just means 12 different sculptures, and they just reused or refixed. As far as I'm aware, it was more of a political response to a building called the Remise. And so it's more of an anti-monument, which means like political, as far as I'm aware. Next, we have Isamu Noguchi. I might have said that wrong. This art piece right here is called, I think, the Nurse Mask, which he was hired on for, well, it's contractual, as far as I'm aware, for baby monitors. And as you can see on the right, it's a kendo mask. If you don't know what a kendo mask is, it's a Japanese form of kind of like fencing, as far as I'm aware, but with wooden sticks rather than metal swords, or what say you not? You really push structural qualities and sculptural principles. And a new word I found out, which is anthropomorphism. Could have said that wrong. It is the attribution of human characteristics or behavior to a god, animal, or object. And that's what, as far as I'm aware, he defines his art as. This is a couple other pieces of his art right here. From the left, we have what's called the void. And in the middle, I'm not sure what it's called. I saw a name called wide wall. I'm not sure. And then on the far right, we have the red cube, which is on Broadway, which was made in 1968. Broadway as in New York Broadway. And that is the end of my presentation.